And so that's when I worked on the footage on its own composition. So one composition had the TF2 footage, the trailer, the soldier trailer. So you have the footage file down here, and then the top layer is actually a completely different composition, which is actually this gets quite complicated. But what I did was I dragged you can open up PSD files in Adobe After Effects, and it retains all the layers. And so what I wanted to do was I animated the actual static image that you may find in Photoshop. I can actually manipulate that in Adobe After Effects and give it a bit of animation. So instead of just having soldier, just the image turning into a comic book effect and stay still, I wanted to turn into an image effect, and then that's my phone, have a BAM come in like that, have the soldier and the spy kind of enlarge up into the camera, and move the splash effects. So just a small subtle animation, just so that it doesn't look so static. And so that is the TF2 PSD composition, which I animated. And then I have a TF2 soldier composition, which is all the TF2 footage. So the footage leading into him getting whacked, it coming along, and then a little bit of animation like so. And so that is my first comic book frame. Next is the CS PSD. Much like the same, I wanted to animate this. So I just, instead of the guy blowing up like so I had the third person moving along, and then the footage of the bomb detonating, and instead of just it going static again, I made the corpse appear first, and then the explosion effect come afterwards, and the boom effect coming with the explosion of the cheesy red and white lines, so like that. And not only that, I wanted to animate the counter-terrorist a bit more by making him move forward towards the camera once again. So after the bomb explodes, you see the comic book effect of the body. You see the boom come up, you see a couple of bits of shadow, and then you see this, the CT move forward towards the camera. And I just repeat it for every single footage, so every single game. So with the StarCraft 1, scan lines kind of move forward, and the way I did that, because I need to explain this, I guess, is by using masks. So what I did, like what I said before, you could just select a mask. This way I just did it a bit cheap, kind of a dodgy way of doing it. Just make a diagonal mask across the image, and then have the feather really high, so how soft the gradient will be, and then just change it. So make a key point here where the feather actually extends past the point of the image, and then slowly reduce it like so, and so it comes back up like that. The kapow is just a simple scale going up, and same with the shadows going behind him, so like that. So in the end, StarCraft ends up mutas and Marines fighting each other, then him getting shot, and kapow. And same with CS, same with Dota, it's a bit dodgy, and same with Battlefield 3. So once you have all your comic panels made, they are all different compositions in which you can chuck into. So I made this comic book strip, one composition, and then I had another composition in which I could chuck and animate all my game footage onto it. So what it looks like is it's still just a massive comic book strip, no animation yet, but it starts off with the logo, and then what happens is that the footage is revealed using a black and white movie. So what it is it's this kind of revealing technique that Video Copilot taught me, in which you can use track mats, and this is kind of a funky way of doing a reveal, but what Andrew Kramer made were a really cool bunch of revealing type animations. So if I were to open up this animation, so this is what it is. It's just white onto black, like so, and that is our transition. So white into so black into white. And so what you can do is, with this video, if you lay it on top of, so I have my reveal composition here, and if you, so no tracking mat here, so if I've got my transition reveal on top of my footage, like so, if you put it on top and you go track matte, Luma matte reveal, what happens is that all the white animated parts is actually going to show up, and all the black is actually not there. So it actually reveals the footage like so. And that's just a really cool way of making specific animations. I mean, I made my own sketching type animation by going to Photoshop, and let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so I just went into Photoshop, and let's see. Okay, wait, here we go. I went into Photoshop, I got a big black brush on a white background, and I just colored across, recorded it as a sketching type of animation. And so going back to our full image like so, you can see that it's just a bunch of all the static logos there with the reveal type animations on top, and then using the track mat to use it as a revealing transition. So I start off with the GamestahTV logo being revealed with my sketchy animation like so. Moving along, I've aligned up all of my footage with the boxes, and I use the reveal animation like so. So it kind of looks like it's ink spilling out onto a piece of paper. Sketch effect on the GamestahTV logo, and it's pretty much rinse, wash, and repeat for all the other logos, all the other panels, I mean. And so once you get that down, it's just a bunch of fiddling with the timing, and I had a bunch of layers at different transfer modes to try to make it blend with the grainy paper texture like so, and eventually you just go through it all like so, and you have yourself a really big image like that that's ready for animation. So this image I think is 2500 by 10,000. So I'm not going to make my final movie that resolution. The resolution's 1280 by 720. So what we're going to have is a 1280 by 720 frame going through my full image. So you could actually see how big 1280 by 720 is compared to this entire comic. So all it really was is just messing around with the positioning of the image in relationship to this frame. So I started off zooming out and then shifting across to this frame, scaling out just a bit. I should probably just put it closer. Scaling out just a bit, and then once the animation has gone into its comic book effect, finish up and then switch to the next one, move down a bit so that it reveals both frames, zoom out, and yeah, it's all like that. And if you found a good song, just chuck that with it, and then you can just time the movements to the song. And yep, that is my entire movie. So after all of that, you end up getting something like this again. So just to watch it, I'll go through it. So sketch effect, move across, there's the reveal, there's the sketching effect again. Comic book effect comes up, and then moving on to the next two frames, comic book effect for both of them at the same time, shifting across to the COD footage, sketch of the sponsor, need to leave it on the sponsor logo for a couple of seconds so people can read, moving across foot to the next two games, and then finish it up in 30 seconds like so. So there you have my first movie breakdown, and it's a bit complicated. It's just something to mess around with, really. I mean, it was kind of fun to make this because it involved my previous kind of semi-graphics experience in Photoshop with my new movie making experience in Adobe After Effects, and so I get to combine both of them to make this pretty cool movie. And that will be my first movie. So if I think it took half an hour to make this movie for a 30-second video, I would not like to know how long it'd take to make the other movies, but we just have to see if these are any popular, and I'll continue. I might make something about PODX Continuum next, so stick around for that, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Ciao.